Hey, I'm Stephen Carrera, and this is for the week 2 assignment for FTH 202. I'm gonna use this Taurus with the snap caps and show you how to remove the side plate. I'm gonna show you the cycle of operations. I'm gonna fully disassemble it and only leave the hammer, the hand, the transfer bar, the trigger cylinder lock. Show you those components, and then I will show you the stripped frame. Check it out. All right, now with the 3 side screws removed, you're gonna use the wood part of the hammer and smack right here on the grip. There you go. All right, for some cycle of operations, right? So in order to feed it, the shooter will feed the actual rounds into the cylinder. That cylinder will go back into the frame, and then you have your chambering. So when the chambering is when the cylinder rotates and the round lines up with the barrel. And then the locking is when that cylinder stop, it's hard to see, but the cylinder stop that's down in there, connected to the bottom of this piece here, actually locks into one of the slots on the cylinder, okay? And then you're going to fire. So when you go to fire, the trigger is pulled. The transfer bar directs the energy of the hammer's impact to the firing pin. So as you can see up here on the top, this is your actual firing pin. That little part here, and then it done and then fired, okay? And then when it unlocks is after you fire it and you pull either the hammer back again or you pull the trigger back, it'll start unlocking when that cylinder begins to move. You have your cylinder lock down here that's going to pull down. Right here you'll see how that cylinder lock rocks downward. You can see it in the little shadow there. So that is your unlocking. Okay. On revolvers, extracting is the cylinder moving outside the frame. So that is extracting. Then ejecting is actually the shooter pressing down on the ejection rod and ejecting the rounds outward. Then you feed it and go back through the steps. Couple things to take notice on is the sear when it's engaged, all right? So on double action, your sear is moved upward, which cocks the hammer and then goes into firing. So you cock the hammer and fire. Now, to do single action, if you look right in this section here, so double action is where that sear housing is locked there. Then you'll go to single action and you see the difference of where that is actually engaging right here in the sear housing. So now with single action, it has one cycle, which is the release of the hammer. So you pull the trigger, and it releases, comes up, hits, and fires. We have our hammer, our firing pin, and our firing pin retainer cup, our hand, which is this silver piece here, our trigger, and our cylinder lock. The firing pin cycle of operation is directly related to firing. The trigger spring is indirectly related to the cocking and the firing cycle of operation. The hammer cycle of operation roll directly deals with firing and cocking of the revolver. The hand of the revolver's cycle of operation roll directly deals with the chambering and the locking, and indirectly with the cocking. The trigger directly deals with the firing cycle of operation. The transfer bar directly deals with the firing. The cylinder stop directly works with the locking and indirectly with the chambering of the firearm on the cycle of operations. All right, as you can see, all our internal components are removed, going down your hammer, your sear, your firing pin, your pin retainer spring or roll pin, your cover plate, your mainspring hammer, your trigger reset spring, your hand, your transfer bar, your cylinder lock, and your thumb release for the cylinder, the crane, the ejection rod, all removed out of the frame. So now you can see there's nothing left inside of it, nothing, no more components. This is as far as I would tear it down and plug that. I'd probably push out that pin to remove that front sight if they want that black. But in order to Cerakote it, this is how far I'd also pull it. All cycle of operations information was taken from the week 2 lecture on FTH 202. Thank you.